Few desserts say fall in every bite, quite like my apple pie recipe. It is the perfect blend of tart and sweet, and it has some flavor from an abundance of fresh apples. I think this easy apple pie is a classic dessert to complete at any holiday spread you have upcoming. Hey y'all, welcome back to Living Tastefully with Jesse. On this channel, we're demystifying cooking and cocktails. We're trying to keep things simple yet elevated by offering step-by-step instructions, creative inspiration, and taking the guesswork out so people at any skill level, beginner, advanced, can make something super special. So let's get started. Here's what you'll need to make this delicious apple pie. So in terms of the recipe ingredients, one of the things that I want to start out with is kind of talking about the apples. You can use your favorite apples, except for things like Golden Delicious and Red Delicious apples. Those will all get too soft and turn into mush as you bake them. I would recommend a Goldsmith if you have a Fuji apple. They're tart, firm, and they hold their texture really well after being baked. I think one of the biggest things about this apple pie recipe is that it's just packed with an abundance of freshness of the fragrant apples. So just be aware of that when you're choosing your apples. Like I said, Granny Smith is kind of my favorite. It's that tartness and sweetness. So you want to start by peeling your apples. This might seem like a small thing, but it really makes a huge difference in how your apple will taste. Once your apples are peeled, then you want to remove the fibrous core and then slice the apples up. So, like so. I tend to do mine. I cut around the core, so that way I don't have to peel. Once you've peeled your apples, you want to then core them. Once you've cored the apples, then you want to slice your apples. I would say slice your apples into likely 1/8 of an inch thick. Any thicker, and the apple slices won't soften enough during the baking process. So just be judicious and use your best judgment when you're slicing apples. Make sure they're pretty thin, something similar to this. So now the apples are peeled, they are cored, and they are chopped. So once they're prepped, now you want to just toss them in some lemon juice. The lemon juice will stop from oxidizing while you prepare your pie crust. We have some pie crust here that is store-bought, but just add the lemon here. Be judicious with the lemon juice because we have about 6 apples in here. There we go. Dropped a seed. It's okay. Take it out. Your sugar, cup of sugar. You want it to be sweetened. And the sugar really brings out your apple flavor. Your flour is going to be the binding agent. You can also use cornstarch as well to bind it together and then make it more thick so that we have a thicker filling. Then I'm going to add some cinnamon and then nutmeg, some ground nutmeg as well. And then we're going to stir this up. So once you have successfully stirred in the ingredients to your apples, you'll see a sort of a darker taste. It should be evenly coated with the sugar, the nutmeg, and the cinnamon. It should kind of look something like that. Right. I have my pie crust here, or my pie ball here. I sprayed it with some non-sticking baking oil already, so that way the pie doesn't stick. I have my pie crust, store-bought. Normally I'll do a homemade pie crust, but we're short on time. So all you do here is just lay it gently inside of your pie dish. No need to stuff it in there. It's pretty delicate. And once you've done that, right, it looks like this. Now it's ready for you to add in the filling. There we go, just like that. And it's okay, the higher it's piled in, the better, because remember, this is all going to bake down, and it's going to get a little translucent, so it's not going to be as dense as it looks. There we go. That's how it should look. I like to do a little crisscross for the pie topping, the pie crust topping. So I still, right, this is a store-bought pie crust. I have a pizza roller. This is an important ingredient, or tool rather. All I do is I just roll the pizza cutter onto the pie crust, and I do about a 1/2 inch thick lines So let's see here. There's one. Make sure you're doing this and it's relatively straight. It's hard to do so, but try to keep it pretty straight. And press all the way through. There we go. Like so. There you have it. That's kind of how thick the thickness that I like with mine. For this, all you're going to do is put your lattices down like so, evenly spread apart. Maybe 3, I think that's perfect. And then, actually, 4 across, and then we'll do these perpendicularly, or every other one. Lift them up like so. Put this down like that. Fold these over. Lift these up like this. This one is a little janky, so hold it down like that. The other one like so. Hold it down like that. And there you have it. Once you have threaded the pastry on the top in a crisscross manner, then it's time to brush the top of the pie with some eggs. You can do egg whites or regular full eggs. The difference is with full eggs, with the yolk and the egg white, you'll have a darker golden brown crust. And if you do it with an egg white, it's just a lighter crust. So feel free to do whichever your heart desires. Either way, you can't go wrong. Once you finish doing the eggs and gently dabbing the top, then you want to go for the sugar, cane sugar, regular white sugar granulated, and just sprinkle it on the top. So this will add another layer of texture, so to provide a more crispy, caramelized crust. And that's it. You want to set your oven to 425, put it in the oven for 20 minutes, and then put a cover on it, put some aluminum foil on it, and then let it sit in there for about 30 minutes or so until golden brown.